All right. We are live.
Ew, don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my thunder. Guys, welcome to another episode of the SoFLo Sports Show. It's your host, 305 Sports Babe, co-host Lou from Dade. We are live and ready. Got a lot going on. Biggest thing going on, we have a game 2 tonight. Huge game. Our Florida Panthers are in Carolina, about to take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Ooh. Do you find yourself saying Carolina Panthers, or are you okay saying Carolina Hurricanes?
No, Carolina Hurricanes.
Okay, because I've caught people saying Carolina Panthers. It's just like a slip of the tongue.
No, I don't see it. It's the Carolina Hurricanes. They've won the Stanley Cup before. They're a formidable opponent. But yeah, no, I can differentiate both teams pretty well.
Okay, because I've caught a lot
and down here in Miami and South Florida, we are well prepared for hurricanes. We know how to deal with them, get them out of the way. So we did that in game 1. And come on, this is a big deal. Game 2 tonight. You're on the road, and you got to take care of business.
Game 1 was explosive. We know that the Carolina Hurricanes are, generally speaking, very good at home in Raleigh. They've played very well hockey in their home arena, and they did not look like that game 1. Which to no problem to them, because we looked fantastic. So we are excited. Carolina Panthers are going to win the East. Eric, you know we have so much love for you, but no.
The South, not the. Yeah, I think he's talking football. They're in the South, but I don't know. I mean, we got the Dolphins got them in the schedule, so we'll be there. So we hope that's not the case, because we're banking on not being a very good team. Maybe not the worst team in that division now that you have the Saints, but yeah, we'll see. All right, but look, let's recap. Last time we were on the air, the Panthers had just had a huge Game 5 victory in Toronto to take a 3-2 lead in that series. You said we were going to close it out down here in Sunrise. Unfortunately, the Maple Leafs came down here and had other plans.
Yes.
They blanked us 2-0 here in our house. And we had to go back for a Game 7 in Toronto. You know, momentum was on their side, right? Going back home in front of their home crowd on home ice. But the Panthers, they did it again. They beat them. They whooped them 6-1 in Toronto in Game 5. Were forced to play in a Game 7 and did it again. Beat them 6-1, exactly the same result in that Game 7. Seth Jones started the party earlier, and I got to tell you, I have seen a lot of hockey. I've never seen. They scored 3 goals in 6 minutes and 24 seconds, and it was just full. It was a frenzy. It was a frenzy and ferocious hockey. You know, people being slammed into the boards, relentless amount of shots taken, 3 quick goals, and before you know it, the Panthers whoop them up 6-1 in Game 7 in Toronto.
So you mentioned Seth Jones.
Yeah.
So ironically enough, he's my favorite player on the team this year. Of course, I have the Matthew Tkachuk jersey, goalie Bob, Brad Marchand. Like, who doesn't like Brad and stuff? But I like the underdog, right? Like, I like Raheem Mostert. I like the guys who are like low key. They do their job. They show up, right? So Seth is my guy. And what you said to me, you said, what did you say to me the other day? You said you heard a rumor, which was very interesting.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I did. I heard that his dad was coaching in the conference,
the Nuggets,
the conference finals for the Nuggets and the Thunder game.
Yeah.
And I said Jones, and I started thinking Eddie Jones, and then I heard Popeye Jones, and I'm like, Popeye Jones, yeah, of course. Who doesn't remember Popeye Jones by that name alone? And that's Seth Jones' dad, which I did not know that. From a basketball background and a basketball family, he becomes this elite defensive star on the ice. Huge deal.
Even more with that. So how Seth actually picked up hockey was that when his dad was playing in Denver, he started playing hockey at the age of 5, and that's how he picked it up, starting playing hockey at 5.
Awesome.
So let's check in the room. So Eric, okay, back to hockey. Panthers versus Oilers for the Cup. We'll take Edmonds. Come on over. You want to get close to me? All right, come close to me.
Got this cable here. Sorry.
Here, come close to me.
Technical adjustments here, but there you go.
All right, Panthers versus Oilers for the Cup. Well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. That's a rematch from last year. But yeah, no, that's an interesting story on Seth Jones, our stud defenseman that we got from Chicago. Again, credit to Bill Zito. This guy is what all GMs should be, right? We lost players last year. We lost Montour. We lost the Lamborghini. We lost a couple of guys that we played in the playoffs, Stolars. For Toronto. Tampa Bay had one of our guys. His name escapes me right now, but we lose guys, and he replaces
them.
Well, not him, but that was from last go around. But
yeah.
Correct. But he replaces these guys with Seth Jones, with a Brad Marchand, who had a huge Game 7 as well and a huge series overall. And look, Panthers win. Paul Maurice now 6-0 in Game 7s, and Brad Marchand is 4-0 in Game 7s lifetime against the Toronto Maple Leafs. But going back to Maurice, 6-0 in Game 7s. I mean, just put that into perspective. When the game's on the line, it is the penultimate game here. No tomorrow, and you need a win. That's your coach. I mean, he's never lost a Game 7. That is incredible. He's definitely got the mojo.
Going back in the chat, Rob, morning. Oh, good morning. I'm almost there. I'll be there in 12 hours, but good morning to you.
Across the pond.
Top of the day from the UK. Long time no see. Keep missing your live shows. It's always good to see you, Rob. Good morning. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, Rob. That's right. Happy Friday to you.
We're almost there.
Hope you're having a good one. Some international games were announced in the NFL. I think there's 3 this year. Over in London, across the pond.
Pan.
So pond. Same thing. No.
We're going to be in the UK on Sunday.
We will.
Inside joke.
Not officially, Rob. We are. You want to share?
We're just going to Disney this weekend, so we're going to the UK. Get a little fish and chips.
We're doing exactly. I love the fish and chips. Of course, I'd rather have them actually in London, but it'll be a nice secondary result there.
Yes, Rob, if you ever come to the States and get a chance to go to Epcot, I will tell you they do a fantastic job replicating the UK in Epcot. So we enjoy breezing through there and paying homage to your wonderful country.
And Rob is booked for Madrid, so that's awesome.
That's an easy trip for you.
Right there, close by, same time zone, and represent our Finns well out there, Rob. That is awesome.
Oh, excited to have you.
Yep.
All right, so Panthers play tonight 8 o'clock, so it's about an hour away from puck drop. Big Game 2 in Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's take another one from them. Let's bring the series back 2-0, and Game 3 will be on Saturday in Sunrise, followed by Game 4 on Monday, Memorial Day here at Sunrise as well. I'd love to shut it down on Monday, but obviously we take game by game, and we'll see what happens.
We'd love to do that. Of course, we won Game 1 5-2, and we play again tonight. Over on the West, you got the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah. Eric in the room mentioned that it could potentially be Panthers and Oilers in a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup final. So that's potential, but it could also be, Panthers and Stars maybe, because the Stars won their Game 1.
Yeah.
They were trailing going into the third period to Edmonton 3-2, and they scored 4 unanswered goals to win that game 6-3 on their home ice. So that series is 1-0.
And then remember, we covered a lot of the Panthers-Oilers series last year, and that trip is the longest back to forth, so there's a lot of travel time in between. So if it does end up being that, obviously we'll cover all of that again.
Yeah, and if it is in fact, again, we got a lot of hockey left to play, but if it does turn out to be Stars and Panthers, that would be another meeting between South Florida and the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, where you got obviously the Dolphins and the Cowboys have faced off in the Super Bowl, and the Heat and the Mavericks have faced off in the NBA Finals a couple times. So that would be interesting to add.
Rob is letting us know in 2027, so not this season, not that next season, the season after, coming over with the Finns fan club of UK.
That's really cool.
All right, we're gonna have a big party for you guys when you come over.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll be celebrating after a Dolphins Super Bowl.
That would be amazing. Listen, before we move on, first of all, if you're just tuning in now, we will be getting to our Dolphins first package announcement that was just released 10 minutes ago. We released it. We went live with it at 7. Already have had some packages sold. So thank you to you guys who I think the first one was who's traveled with us last year. So awesome to have return friends of ours coming out and joining us back on the road. So that's great. So we'll talk about that momentarily. If you're in the room, please don't forget to like tonight's episode down there, and also subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Robert Tracy in the house. That's who I was speaking about. Robert definitely is on board for Atlanta, so that is awesome.
Robert has booked his ticket. Robert is he is the first person to buy a solo ticket, and he has a ticket. What he bought was the ticket and the social. So he has a package where, hey, if you go to the hotel, but you still want to join us in our 100th level seats, plus the social on Saturday, that's the package that Rob got with us. So he is there and square in our package.
Right.
So we are excited to have him.
Yep, absolutely we are. And we could.
But the first person officially was Brian.
Brian, okay. Well, Brian is.
So you're number 2.
There we go. All right. Well, you could get more info there on 305sportstravel.com. So check that out. and check out what we have to offer for our first package release. All right, so before we do that, again, like tonight's episode, subscribe if you've not done so already. The best information and the quickest info on all our updates will be on this show. So do subscribe and do like tonight's episode. Before we move on to the next sport, I gotta get this off my chest.
You're a hater. Here you go.
I am a little bit of a hater. Paul Bissonnette, Biz Nasty, and this coverage on TNT has been totally anti-Panthers. I'm not feeling it. You know, it's one thing. I'm not saying you have to be totally biased. I'm okay with people being homers to an extent, but Bissonnette was, Biz was wearing his Toronto Maple Leaf blazer. He's wearing, instead of having a little, handkerchief out here, he's got a maple leaf popping out of his pocket. And he's hating on the Panthers and saying what Toronto's going to do and what they're, how they're going to take him out in first 6 games and then 7 games. And so, I take exception with that. I know you feel a little differently, but go ahead, give it to me.
I like him. I like him. I like the guy. Him? I think he's cute.
He's got the weird mustache going on.
I have a very selective taste of men, as you can see. And no, I have a crush on Biz.
I think you need your eyes checked.
I have a crush on Biz. I've always have. I said this last season when he was covering, obviously, the Panthers in May and June hockey, and I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I googled him, and I was like, oh, this guy did not have a very successful career in the
not
NHL.
At all. Not
I
at
know,
all.
so I was like, all right, whatever, right?
Well, that should be your. Well, I don't want to say it, but that should be your.
What was your career in the MLB? How was your career?
NHL.
Right? How was your career in MLB or NFL or
not too good? But listen,
MLS.
I am secure in myself, but I will say that on that panel, Henry Lundqvist, Hank. Who was a star player in your league. Hey, that's the guy. He looks the part, right? He's dressed in the nice suits like Pat Riley. He's got the impeccable hair. Man, I wish I had hair like that. And so that's the guy you should.
So I will tell you that
Paul Bissonnette.
He's my guy. He's not, because he's very I will tell you on social media, Caesar is a huge Panthers fan in a wheelchair. And if you ever learn Caesar's story, it's actually very touching. He has died many times. He stopped breathing, and he's overcome so much. And him and Busy actually got into it, and they would send each other. And then he was actually on Busy's a podcast, spitting chiclets and all this stuff.
That's a great podcast.
It was actually, I'm glad we won this series, because he would have never let Caesar live that down. Caesar eventually got the last laugh. But I will tell you, you and I are planning a little trip to Toronto later on this year. And
we're in Buffalo.
And I'm so excited to, first of all, wear Panther stuff, because we did that when we went to Victoria last year. Excited to see the Hockey Hall of Fame. And I hopefully, of course, I want to see Drake in Toronto, but even more, I would love to see Busy down the streets and buy him a beer.
Drake.
I would, no, okay. But
Biz, I would. Biz is actually, I kid here, but he is actually a very good sport.
Guy.
He's a good sport. And he seems like the kind of guy that
have a beer with.
You're at a bar, you want to hang out and get to know some stories. So I kid. I wish he wasn't so anti-Panther, but besides that, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy, no doubt.
All right, so I can have a drink with him. We can have a drink with him.
We can have a drink with him. Sure, absolutely.
All right, that's where it ends.
That's it.
All right, cool. All right, yeah. So obviously we're full-fledged Panthers. Go Cats, go!
Big one tonight.
1-0. Got to take another one in Raleigh tonight. Let's bring it back home. Lead in the series 2-0. Game 3 will be on Saturday. Game 4 will be Memorial Day on Monday, and hopefully it ends on Monday. And we'll see where that leads us. Switching gears. Bring it to basketball. NBA playoffs. A little different for us this year. We are heatless.
Been heatless for a couple rounds now.
I know.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
So it is what it is. We've accepted our destiny. We've accepted our fate. So where do we go from here, right?
Yeah, no, the Heat, that's old news. But the NBA playoffs, they've been crazy. I mean, some wild results. Already some upsets in the East. You got the 4th-seeded Pacers and the 3rd-seeded Knicks, not the number 1 Cavs and the number 2 Celtics.
Are out,
so 2 upsets there, and you got 2 Cinderella stories, kind of like March Madness. Not this year. March Madness was all chalk this year, but you got 2 teams in the finals that not a lot of people expected. But of course, when you get the Knicks and the Pacers, you got that rivalry going back to the 90s with Reggie Miller, what he did, which kind of played out last night in Madison Square Garden, where Tyrese Haliburton put in this incredible shot that bounced off the rim and it looked like it almost hit the Garden roof and came back down. The Pacers team thought it was a 3, but it was actually a 2 to tie the game.
Yeah.
And so the Pacers are up 1-0 in that series after winning game 1 on the road. And that was just an incredible game. 138-135 in overtime was the final.
So I tweeted this, I think it was like last week. The Garden obviously is a very, very special place, just in general, right? Love it or hate it, it is what it is. This year alone, it's obviously seen St. John's win the Big East tournament, the home of St. John's, and seeing that. And the Knicks did damage against the Celtics. So for those New Yorkers who eat, sleep, breathe St. John's basketball and Knicks basketball, you're like living a dream right now. They haven't seen this in a very, very long time. St. John's basketball has not been prevalent since the mid-'80s.
Right.
And then Knicks basketball hasn't been prevalent since the 90s. And you take people like me who either have never seen that at all or just heard of it. So this is a dream for the people who just heard stories of it and now you're living it. Yeah. So I'm living through them. You're living through the eyes and you appreciate it, right, for them that you're finally seeing it. Because as a Dolphins fan, we've only heard stories and you've seen it.
Yeah.
And you haven't seen it. You've seen like
I've seen it, not you, but I've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
And you haven't seen the Pacers and the Knicks, back in the day. That was tremendous. Yeah, I actually was watching the 30 for 30 on that original when the Reggie Miller did the choke and then Tyrese Halliburton did the same thing yesterday. So it's just incredible how 30 plus years later. Same kind of an iconic moment, which was incredible. I got something else incredible here, and don't cheat, but since this is an amazing stat, since 1998,
before I got my New York rant.
Since 1998, there's been 1,414 playoff games. I repeat, 1,414 playoff games that a team has been up by 9 points or more with 1 minute to play. Out of those many games, how many times do you think the team down 9 points has come back to win?
3. Yes.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, that's actually a good guess. I would have, thought maybe by accident some more. The answer is 0.
That's close.
0. So last night was the first time in, again, 1,414 occurrences where the team, down 9 points with less than a minute to play has come back and won that game. So that says it all right there. It's just been wild playoffs.
I really think, and I know you don't like this because you're super, super hardcore Miami Heat, as I am too.
Yeah.
But I think this is the year for New York. You hate it because of what you've seen and the rivalries and the rivals that you've seen, right? That when I was either too young or I was still a Nets fan at that time, but you see it, and I don't have the same appreciation, right? And but I also know the drought that New York, a city that I love so much, and the people that I love so much. And I know that, like, hey, just give it to them. And I don't care if they never win it again, minus St. John's. So I want that to happen 1,000 years, whatever. But let them just get it once, right?
Look, I can't agree with that. You're from Jersey. I understand. I get it. But for me, the Heat and the Knicks had some serious rivalries in the 90s, back-to-back years, 4 years in a row. The Heat won the first one, and the Knicks won the last 3, including one of those in 1999 that they ran all the way to the finals as an 8th seed. On a shot, speaking about bouncing up and down, if you're a Heat fan, cover your ears. Allen Houston had a shot in Game 5. Back then, the first round was best of 5. And in Game 5, down here in Miami, I was at the game. That ball touched the rim about 5 times. It bounced in at the buzzer. And the Knicks went on to knock us out as a number 1 seed. So I just can't like them. Plus, let's be real. When the Jets come down here, when the Mets come down here, it's
now you're pushing it. I didn't say all that.
No. But what I'm telling you is that New York, Miami is like the 6th borough to New York. And
you know who you married, right?
I get it, okay. but you have so much, of the in your face, New Yorker attitude.
What do you have for breakfast tomorrow?
A bagel.
Okay, then there you go.
Yeah, but okay, I can have a bagel, but I can't root for the Knicks. I can't do it. So, but look, it's been a crazy playoffs.
But you don't appreciate. You appreciated the tour we did at the Garden. That was a nice tour.
Absolutely. I respect and appreciate it. And I will say this. Okay. It is great for New York to be in the East Finals, and it would be even greater for the sport for New York to reach the finals because that town will go crazy. Basketball is always better when teams like the Knicks, the Celtics, the Lakers, even the Sixers, when teams like that are doing well, basketball's always better. So, and it's been a long time coming. So that would be a big deal. Let's go over to the West where you got the 6th-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves. Again, another upset against the number 1-seeded OKC Thunder. That series is 1-0 Thunder. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was named the MVP of the league. So he'll get his award tonight before tip-off. So that's a big deal. And look, what are we talking about here?
Lou's gonna wake up with a horse's head next to him?
I'm gonna end up with a river. I'm gonna end up in a river swimming with the fishes. Don't give her any ideas, Rob. Don't give her any ideas.
Rob, it almost reminds me of, I see those videos in TikTok of the guardsmen in the UK with those horses, and people go too close to them, and the horses like that to them.
Jeez, what did you just do?
No, it just reminds me. No, because the horses are very strong with the guardsmen, and then you'll come close to it for a picture. Come close to me for a picture.
Oh,
and then go like that. Rob,
put your teeth away.
Rob, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know you're laughing, but that's reminding me of it. Kirk in the house, Kirk.
Kirk, what up,
hello,
Kirk?
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
My Sixers are so bad that I have trouble talking basketball. The Heat are right behind there. Yeah, we're just talking basketball just to casually fill up a little bit of basketball time.
Yeah, and at least the Sixers got a draft pick. Yeah, Rob, don't give her any ideas, man. Stop doing that. You're scaring me.
But Finn Sammy, you don't know what you just came into.
Welcome, Finn Sammy.
I was one of the horses of the guardsmen in the UK. If you come too close to the horse.
Jeez.
And that's what I'm gonna do to
Rob, man. Look what you did, man.
Because he's talking a lot of smack about New York. Let's go, Cats. Go, Cats, go.
Yes, let's do it. Finn Sammy in the house, as we mentioned. Finn Sammy, Finn's TV. You guys are rocking it out, man. So keep going. Keep doing your thing, man. It's been incredible.
You know what? And I was also seeing on social media, all these people are fighting with fake news, real news. I'm like, bro, no one has time for this. Panthers are in the playoffs, man. Dude, focus. Listen,
Finn Sammy put together this article. I loved it, man.
Yeah.
That was great. So again, keep up the great work. He said it. He set the record straight on that. So way to go, Sammy. You did an awesome job on that.
Yeah, I was gonna chime in with people fighting.
Yeah,
I was like, Panthers in the playoffs. I'm going to Disney tomorrow. I can't do this.
We're trying to have a good time, and
I'm releasing packages. No.
That's no.
But Sammy, spread the peace. Spread the peace.
No time for drama. So,
all right.
But okay, look, NBA. Let's wrap it up with the NBA. You got 4 teams.
Knicks and Thunder.
Excuse me. You got 4 teams that have not won. 3 teams that have never won in the Timberwolves, the Thunder, and the Pacers. Those teams have never won. The Pacers go back a long time, back to the ABA, the American Basketball Association. The Thunder have had a couple of shots. They lost to the Heat in the 2012 NBA Finals. Minnesota has never even been to the finals.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Knicks are in the same boat, believe it or not, as the Miami Dolphins. The last Knicks title came in 1973, exactly like the Miami Dolphins. So the Knicks are long and suffering. So regardless of what happens,
Knicks didn't win a title in
the 90s. Knicks have no. The Knicks last won in 1973. They went to the finals in 1999 and lost to the Spurs. To the Spurs. David Robinson and Tim Duncan. They also went to the finals in 1994. Of course, that famous O.J. Simpson Broncos chase, but they lost to the Rockets in 7 games in that series. But they have not won.
You've made me watch that O.J. stuff so many times.
It's pretty wild.
And then my dad got a Bronco truck a few months ago.
Right. So I now call him OJ. But no, yeah, the Knicks have not won since 73. So regardless of what happens in these conference finals, you're going to see a team win an NBA championship that's going to be eye-opening because it hasn't happened in a long time or ever.
Guess what?
What? Oh,
okay,
geez.
Anyways. All right, moving on.
Oh, what do we got here?
Civil War, yeah we have
seriously.
Nothing to do with that, man.
No good, Sammy.
We're busy releasing packages. Panthers are busy. Coming down next week and the Tub.
Great burger. The Tub.
That doesn't do it for me.
I like that burger. That's a big burger, too.
Oh, a girl with Crohn's disease? No. But no, I do appreciate it.
Kirk, I would appreciate a picture, man. Send me a picture of that burger you have. Tell Kathy I say hi and send me a picture of that burger.
But I do love the cables there.
Yes.
But also, if you go to Le Tub, I will tell you, there is a restaurant, a light right next to it that you don't want to tell them about. Capone Flicker Light. It's a Chicago bar. It's south, and it's one light past it. Capone Flicker Light.
Yeah,
thank us later.
No doubt.
It's excellent.
And look, Kirk says he's going to send me a picture. That's awesome. You're going to make me hungry. You're going to make me want to drive back into town.
Hey, Kirk, we're coming your way tomorrow. How about that?
We're going
to North Florida tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going up. You're coming down. We'll meet in the middle somewhere, but I will check it out. Yes, great place.
Oh, Capone. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The deep awesome. Is excellent. All right, NFL news. We got another package sold. We have another 1972 package.
All right,
guys.
Awesome.
Atlanta is selling quick. It is, and we're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, let's get to the NFL news.
All right. So yesterday, my boss texted me, and usually when he texts me, it's about sports. It's always about sports. So, and it was breaking news, and it said RIP. And then I'm like, my heart dropped. I'm like, who the heck died? So then when I said the name, you were like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Jim Irsay. I mean, he wasn't, I wouldn't say he was old. He was young. 65 is young. He had some health issues and all that. But Jim Irsay, an iconic figure and owner. He was the youngest GM in sports history. I think just 24 years old.
It's crazy. Because his dad.
Because his dad. But still, he did a heck of a job, right? He had very competitive teams, drafted some great quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And he ended up winning the Colts their first Super Bowl, which ironically enough happened down here in Miami against the Chicago Bears. That was a Prince Super Bowl. Prince sang "Purple Rain in the Rain." That was pretty cool right here at the time known as Sun Life Stadium before the roof was closed in. But so yeah, Jim Irsay, an iconic owner. He was he's the type of owner you would want, right? I always said if I was going to be if I was blessed,
he's a face. He's out there.
He's a face. He's interacting with the fans. He asks for the fans' opinions. He will go to training camp and hand out $100 bills to the fans, get them excited for the upcoming season. So that's a big deal, and it's a big loss for the game. He was an advocate for so many of the issues that people wanted corrected, and so he fought for those things. And again, great owner. We had the pleasure of
but before we get into that, Robert, go Panthers. I'll be in Disney tomorrow too. Sweet. Robert, if you could shoot Lou a DM, I'd love for us to share our itinerary with you because we're going to be there the next 5 days, and maybe we can cross paths.
Well, not next 5 days. We'll be in Disney Saturday.
Yeah, that is true. So we're heading up there eventually. We're going to get there Saturday. Yeah. So if you could shoot Lou a DM, I'd love to share itinerary and see if we can cross paths or maybe go on a ride or share Mickey
absolutely, that'd be cool.
Turkey leg if it was up to Lou. So shoot.
We're not sharing the turkey leg together, but we could toast the
turkey leg. So shoot Lou a DM on Facebook, and we'd love to see you if we could cross paths.
Yes.
Okay. So. Yes, when we were in Indianapolis, that is one trip we are not running this year. We asked a few times. It's not going to be able to work on our schedule this year. But when we went to Indianapolis last year, we had a great time up there. We were able to arrange a tour to the Colts practice facility, which was very, very, very unique. And we were able to, with our Colts connection there, to go on a back behind the scenes tour of
training facility
of Jim's private sports collection, right? So this would be everything that this man has collected for years and his family has collected in years.
So for sports, he does have two collections. He has one where he has guitars from Jimi Hendrix and he had a very incredible collection of historic items, items from the Civil War and all that. We didn't see that one, but we did see his sports collection. And safe to say, it was an incredible collection. He even had a room where he celebrated the 2006 Super Bowl that again was clinched down here in Miami. He had the confetti. So he went out there and had the confetti from 2006, all on display. And he had the jerseys with the patches. We even were looking for Don Shula stuff because before the Colts went to Indianapolis, they were in Baltimore, and Don Shula was the coach of the Baltimore Colts, and he had some images of Don Shula in his sports collection as well. So it was very impressive. But just
that's impressive the Colts Nation because anything like that, especially 65 is way so young.
So young.
They definitely they lost a great man and somebody who we appreciate, and thoughts and prayers with everybody in Colts Nation.
No doubt. And I also say that it'll make, I know people won't want to hear this, but it's going to make that week 1 game for the Dolphins a little tougher because that they're going to have a patch on their jersey. They're going to have a tribute to him before the game. That those Colts players who love them are going to want to do everything possible to win that game for him. Now, that aside, the Dolphins are the better team, but the Colts are going to have high emotions going into that.
Haven't we heard that before,
game.
Though?
I'm just saying, they will.
Dolphins are a better team. Dolphins are a better team.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. The Colts, even though the Dolphins are a better team, the Colts are going to have a mythical advantage, if you will, by trying to do one right for their late owner.
Talking about mythical, how about that tush push?
The tush push.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to hear my grandma's thoughts about this one.
Sorry. No. So it was upheld by the league. A lot of people try to ban it. 10 teams. I have it here somewhere. 10 teams did vote against it. I'm happy to say the Dolphins, even though I'm not sure why they would not vote, not to ban it, because Tua doesn't do any tush pushing. I don't want Tua moving in a pile like that. But I have it here. So the Eagles obviously voted for it to stay. The Ravens, Browns, Lions,
Why would the Eagles vote for it to stay?
No. They voted against No. They voted against the ban. So they wanted to keep it.
I'm joking. I'm joking. That's all they use. I know it's a joke.
You have to read the fine print when you vote sometimes. So the Eagles, Ravens, Browns, Lions, Jaguars, Patriots, Saints, Jets, Titans, and the Miami Dolphins were the 10 teams that said that they're okay with the tush push.
Wow.
So yeah.
Interesting. All right. So before we let you guys go, and
let's do this really quick. The Dolphins.
Go ahead. People are in Dolphins rookie camp, which is crazy because it's been like the hottest days down here, and it's just going to get worse. So thoughts and prayers are to our rookies who are completely sweating their tails off. And rookie mini camp.
They did the rookie mini camp. They picked their numbers. Our number 1 pick, our 13th pick, Kenneth Grant. He chose to wear number 90. And number 90, man, I got to tell you, last time I could remember number 90 that I was excited about for Miami Dolphins was Marco Coleman. I mean, if you're serious, if you're a Dolphin fan in the room, Marco Coleman, I mean, you're going back, man. That number 90, he was a great pass rusher. So that was cool to see him. And another guy was Quinn Ewers. I think you got the picture up.
Yeah, before I do that, Finsanity, my girl in the house. What is up? Hey. All right, who wants to show up a photo?
So here is Quinn Ewers' first look, the quarterback from Texas. And Texas Longhorns, he is donning the number 14. And so this was cool to see. Who do you think of when you think of number 14 as quarterback? I got one guy, but I'm going to ask you. Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic. So yeah, obviously yours is a little bit more in shape than Fitzpatrick was, but
leave Fitzy alone. He's in better shape than you. Relax.
But yeah, the 14 that I think of, I love Fitzpatrick. Don't get me wrong. Who could forget that game in Las Vegas where the Raider, it wasn't Crosby, one of the Raiders grabbed Fitzpatrick's face mask and turns it all the way around, and then he completed the pass anyway. So that was incredible. But I'm going to take you back. 14, I think Brian Griese.
Oh, you're going.
I think Brian Griese. I'm going way back, and man, that team. He was also a backup. Jay Fiedler was a starter. Brian Griese, came in and pinch hit and got into some games. But man, that Dolphin team was loaded. Okay, get this, on offense, you got Ricky Williams, you got Chris Chambers at wideout, Randy McMichael as your tight end, who Jonas Smith just broke his record. But Randy McMichael was a beast. You got Oronde Gadsden. You got Rob Conrad over at fullback. Olindo Mare was your kicker, nailing the crossing the uprights all day long. Again, Ricky Williams is your running back. Okay, and then that's just on offense. Are you ready for the defensive side of the football?
Ahead,
Hall of Famers.
Go ahead, Lou.
Zach Thomas. Hall of Famer, Jason Taylor. Hall of Famer, Junior Seau. Complete studs at defensive back in Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. And the big boy in the middle, Tim Bowens. Talk about
him.
What we want Kenneth Grant to do.
About that boy.
Tim Bowens, number 95, who just went up to the Ring of Honor this past season. So that was a loaded team. And Jay Fiedler and Brian Griese just couldn't move the ball enough. But, man, that took me back to that when I saw number 14. But, yeah, the rookies have donned their jerseys and they have their numbers. And now it's just a matter of them getting out there and doing it when it counts.
I agree. So good luck to our rookies out there in the Florida, the Miami Heat. It is hot. We are in a crazy heat wave, and it's just going to get worse. So welcome to the 305. We're happy you're here, but stay hydrated. All right, guys.
Chris says best 14 is Jarvis Landry.
I said that to
That's
you
a good
also
one.
Earlier.
That's a good one,
Jarvis.
too. Good choice. Yep.
Okay, guys. So real quick. As you guys know, the schedule was released on May 14th. So that means 305 Sports Travel. We are in like super busy mode, right? We decided that the trips that we will be running this year is we are going to do full trip packages to Pittsburgh and Atlanta again. So full trip packages to Pittsburgh in December and Atlanta in October. We're going to be hosting a type of party in Buffalo in September. The Buffalo package will not include game tickets, or hotel. So it will just be like a social. We've done this type of model in Chicago and Baltimore, and it worked out tremendously.
It's a Thursday night game, it's the last. The reason why we wanted to include Buffalo this year is because it is going to be the last game at that stadium that opened up in 1973.
Yeah,
and the Dolphins started off by owning the Bills for the entire 70s. So we had a lot of success in that stadium early on, not so much lately. But it'd be a good way to go out the way we started. So we want to be a part of that last Dolphin Bills game in that stadium.
And Buffalo in September sold.
Yeah.
Like fall.
Right.
Like.
Yeah.
Right. But, like we're there. Like everything. Like we're there.
Buffalo in September. And
Beautiful.
in September means I don't have to take my gloves off to eat my buffalo wings.
It's going to be a little nippy at night, but we're there.
Yeah, but I don't have to take my gloves off or my scarf off or my jacket off or my hoodie off to get my buffalo wing. So
join us in Buffalo. We're going to host probably the Fins Fan Social on that Wednesday, if not maybe that Thursday. But we don't have game tickets. We're not doing the hotel, but we will have a nice Fins Fan Social. So get to Buffalo. But for Atlanta and Pittsburgh, we're doing the full package. And then for Charlotte, it's Fins Fan 6. So our friends at TPP, the Charlotte Fins Club, the Triangle Fins Club, they're doing all that. We'll join in and help them with that. But that's going to be their trip that we're still going to take part of. So reach out to them with any questions for Charlotte. So we will be in Charlotte, but that'll be ran through Fins Fan 6. All right, so like Lou said before, Atlanta packages were released about an hour ago. No, like a little less than an hour ago. Hold on for a second. Okay, so Atlanta packages were released about a half hour ago. Up to date, we already sold 2 full packages. When I say full packages, these are very, very limited because they include the hotel, the Fins Fan Social, and the ticket. So we only block off a certain amount of hotel rooms. So 2 are already gone, and we're very limited to these. So shout out to the first 2 that have bought those packages. That has been Brian, and the second one, I saw it. It was Brian, and then the other one, I'll have to look up, but I know it was Brian was the first one.
Yep.
So, okay. So what's going on in Atlanta? All right, so Atlanta, it is a 4-day, 3-night package. Your hotel, we are staying at the Westin in Atlanta. So you would check in on Friday, the 24th, and you would leave on Monday. The hotel is walkable distance to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so 4 days, 3 nights at the hotel. It also includes your tickets to the game. We have a ticket block in the 100 level of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Our tickets are all together. Each ticket includes $100 food and beverage credit to Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
$10.
I'm sorry. Was
I
said
100? Yeah.
Sorry about that.
If it's 100, I'm going to buy seats myself right now. No, it is a $10 credit.
Guys.
So your ticket.
I'm speaking too fast. Go ahead.
Your ticket comes loaded with a $10 food and beverage credit, whatever you want to use it for. And you got the Westin Hotel on Peach Street. So that's I've actually stayed at the hotel that you have as well. That's a beautiful hotel, and it's got that the roof, not a rooftop, but it's got the rotating. It's called the Sundial Restaurant up top that rotates. So it's a great property. Best thing about the property is that you literally walk out the hotel, out of the lobby, and you got rows of bars. So plenty of opportunities to catch all the games. Of course, in October, you're going to have college football in full force. I think at that point also the NHL has started. So, whatever sport you're into, it's going to be going on.
You're going to be about a week early for that.
Yeah.
It'll be close to it, but about a week early.
Yeah, but close enough. You might have some preseason games. But either way, you have, sports, unlimited sports right across the lobby in multiple directions. Sports bars, all awesome bars all the way around it. There's a really cool Irish bar down the road as well. So we got a lot of options.
So then again, with our packages, you'll get the 4 days, 3 nights hotel at the Westin. You'll also get the lower level ticket with the $10 food and beverage credit for the game day. And then you'll also get the Fins Fan Social on Saturday, which you guys know about the socials. It includes everything. It'll include the door prize, the swag, and then the drinks. So again, those packages are live. We have sold out every year that we have done this. So guys, do not wait. We cannot hold packages. We cannot hold tickets. So if you see a package that you would like, Atlanta is live. Go ahead and book that. We hope to have Pittsburgh live within the next week or so as well.
Yep.
And then Buffalo, once we secure the location, that'll be first come, first serve. Again, it'll be a social alone. So you'll buy your ticket for the social or to be an open social and work on that.
Yep.
But Atlanta is the big one as well right now where you want to secure your package for Atlanta.
Yep. And Charlotte also has the tickets on sale. That information is also on our website. So if you want to join us in Charlotte, again, Danny Johnson and TPP, the Triangle Charlotte Fan Club is.
It's the Charlotte Fins Fan Club and then Triangle Fins Fan Club. Two different Fins Fan Clubs are running it and conjoined with TPP to make the Fins Fan 6. It's one big organized away package that they do every year. So within those 3 organizations, it'll be the away game package they have this year.
Yep, and we joined them last year in Seattle. A tremendous time. We had a great time. So definitely, if you want to go to Charlotte, again, all the information is on the website. But so we got the Westin Hotel. Again, amazing hotel. We got lower level tickets to watch the Dolphins and the Falcons. The Dolphins have actually not played in Atlanta since 2017.
Wow.
And they've only played one time at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. It looks like something out of Independence Day where the roof opens up, kind of like a
hexagon.
Like a hexagon. And no, it's by all accounts, it's a really amazing stadium. I passed by it, but have not been inside. And I am excited to check it out. You've been in there?
I've toured it,
Yeah, it every year it hosts big college football games for NFL or NCAA kickoff weekend. So they always host like the big game to start the season, and then they always host the Peach Bowl. And now with the CFP, the College Football Playoff, they always host a major game there as well. So hey, it's a great venue, a very famous venue. If you are local to Miami, it's not that far of a trip up, so it's a great opportunity.
Easy flight too. Yep. There's a lot of flight options, whether it's American or Delta. So definitely look into that trip.
Good quarterback matchup on paper. You got Tua and Penix, 2 lefty quarterbacks going at it. That's a rarity. You don't always see the 2 lefties dueling. So we got a lot of exciting things. Our social, we are finalizing where it's going to be. Tremendous place. And so, once we have that ready to go, we will release that. But we've always done a social at all our stops.
Fun, yeah.
And we always bring out the big guns, if you will, and have some cool things going on. So again, maybe some surprises that we're working on, and
the social will for sure be on that Saturday. So if anything, for sure keep that Saturday open. It'll be October 25th, but all packages do include the social. So you save actually if you get a package because you get the social for a discounted price.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, if you're a baseball fan, hey, the Braves got a good team. So it would be pretty wild if at that point you're talking World Series. So if the Braves do make it past the first couple rounds and they are playing at the Fall Classic in late October, that town's going to be even crazier. So that could be potentially a pretty good time out there.
Be.
And that it could be a fire.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have some big hockey. Got to cut you short. We got a game 2 tonight. Our Panthers are taking on the Hurricanes, and not these Hurricanes, the Carolina Hurricanes for game 2 tonight at 8:00. Puck drop is in 28 minutes and 37 seconds. Game 2 in Raleigh. Panthers hope to take another one. Okay, hold on. There you go.
Yeah. And and obviously you got a big weekend ahead, a 4-day weekend, Memorial Day weekend coming up. So we hope you guys enjoy your plans. Of course, Memorial Day is not about, yes, people have the day off and that's good, but it's about remembering our fallen soldiers who are, who gave the ultimate sacrifice for us. And so we will never forget them or forget what that day is about. And so, again, take a moment during your Memorial Day to salute and honor those soldiers who took one for us, and think of them and what their act of courage in doing so.
Sacrifice.
Yep, and their family who lost their loved one too. So it's a somber day, but it's a day that we remember those brave men and women of our armed forces who again gave the sacrifice their life for the greater good of us and our beautiful and amazing country.
Well said. Well said. All right, guys. Well, have a great night. Enjoy your holiday weekend. As Lou said, remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for us so our country can remain the great and glorious land of free that we are.
Yeah.
And go Cats, go.
Yeah. And guys, again, have a good, Friday heading into your weekend and a great weekend. Enjoy your Memorial Day with your loved ones and have a great time. And we will catch you next time. When we see you next, we hope the Panthers have advanced.
Hopefully they're going to the Stanley Cup.
And we are back in the Stanley Cup, which would mean
Rats are flying.
Rats are flying. I got to bring the rat out since we advanced to the East Finals. I got to bring that rat out. You try to bite me as a horse. So I'm gonna gnaw your ear off over here.
I don't mess with rats.
So yeah, go Rats, go Cats, go. It's not a real rat, guys, but go Panthers. It should be fun. Again, next week we will hopefully be talking Panthers in the Stanley Cup final, and we will have an update on our Pittsburgh packages.
Yes.
We are excited about Pittsburgh. We already teased some stuff, which, we're looking to do some tours, some cool customized tours to, pretty much talk about our greatest Dolphin ever. So we may, we're going to, put that together by next week, as well as, the Steelers got their terrible towel. So we have to answer somehow to that terrible towel. So we will, we'll have a little something for them when we are in Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football.
And did you just hear that?
I did.
Thunder.
That's not good.
Oklahoma City Thunder. No, I'm just kidding. There's just a little thunder. We actually haven't had a thunderstorm here in a while.
We have not, but yeah, I just heard it.
I think that's a sign. That's the thunder gods telling you to get off so we can watch a Panthers game.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Take care. See you next week.
Go Cats, go.